In JavaScript, the this is a predefined keyword that represents current object based on which the method is called. By default, whenever you use the this keyword outside the method, it by default represents an empty object. So, for example, there is an object, and outside the object, that means outside the method, you are writing the this keyword. So the this keyword represents an empty object. So if you print the this keyword, you will get an empty object like this. But in case if you run the code in the browser environment, that is through HTML, in that case the this keyword represents the window object. But we will talk about the window object and DOM manipulations topic later in the further lectures. So, but for time being, as soon as we run the code through Node.js environment, the this keyword by default represents a default empty object. But the actual intention of this keyword is to represent current object that is inside the method. So assume there is an object which has a method. In case if you are using the this keyword inside a method, the this keyword represents the current object inside which object the method is project. For example, there is an object called x and there is a method called y. So inside the method called y, if you are using the this keyword, it by default represents the current object, that is x object. So outside the method, the this keyword represents empty object, but the this keyword inside the method represents the current object inside which the method is project. And using the this keyword, you can access all the properties and methods of the current object. So let's practice the same. This is the code that we have created in the previous lecture. Let me copy the same into a new file, that is this.js. So by default, this keyword represents the current object based on which the method is called or in which object the method is present. So in short, you can remember this keyword as current object. So let me comment out this person name. So we are calling the birthday method here. And in this method, we are trying to print console.log of this. Let us see what is the value of the this keyword. See, the this keyword represents the current object in which object the method is present. Let me even comment out the console.log of person. So you can see that the this keyword by default refers to the current object in which the method is present. So the actual intention of introducing the this keyword is to access the current object of the method. So inside the method, you can access all the properties and methods of the current object by using the this keyword. So you can try writing this.property and this.method to access the members of current object. For example, I would like to say happy birthday to Scott. So Scott is the value of the person name property of the current object, right? So you can represent the current object by using the this keyword, right? So that is why you can write like this dot person name. Here, as you know already, this keyword represents the current object and you can access all the properties and methods of the current object. So you are writing this dot person name. So outside the code, you need to access the property by using person.personName, that is reference variable dot property name. And if you are writing the code inside the object, you should access the property or method by using this dot property name or method name. So in all this area that is inside the object, we should write like this dot property and this dot method to access the properties and methods of the current object. But outside the object, that is in this area, all over outside the object, we should write like reference variable dot property name and method name. So if you are writing the code inside the object, we should write like this dot person name, this dot birthday. But if you are writing the code outside the object, we can write like reference variable name, that is person dot person name and person dot birthday. So the object can be self-represented by using the this keyword always inside the object. So in the shortest way, you can remember the this keyword as current object or present object inside which we are writing the method. So let me use this backtick operator so that we can print it by using interpolation. So it will print a string value, that is happy birthday to Scott. So let's run this. So as we can expect, happy birthday to Scott is the output from this method. So always you can think about that this keyword is the current object. And now let's write the this keyword outside the object, that is somewhere here. See, I am writing the code outside the object. In that case, let us see what is the value. Let's comment out this statement. See, in this case, we are getting an empty default object which doesn't contain any properties and methods. Actually, you can add additional properties and methods, but that acts as a global data which is accessible in the entire program. For example, I can write like this dot x equal to something so that we can access that x value all over the entire file, that is in the entire program. See, the global empty object now contains a property called x. Of course, you can also add methods to the same object. Anyways, we should not much focus on this global object because it is by default empty. So you should always think about that this keyword inside the method access the current object inside which the method is present. This is all you need to mainly remember about the this keyword.